What's up, Familia? Dayspring here with an episode of Power of X-Men to discuss Immortal X-Men, issue number 16, because holy shit, they dropped some really big Jean Phoenix mytho revelations. So, anyways, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you can see us rant about our God Queen, and among other content that we publish. So, Immortal X-Men number 16. You know you're getting spoilers here, Familia, so just a heads up. Spoiler warning, spoiler warning. So the mutants are not in just a desert. They're in the White Hot Room, it would appear. So the Jean we saw at the end of issue 15 with Wolverine, turns out it's really them. Who would have thought? I certainly didn't think that. I'm not, like, angry about it. I'm kind of okay with it because I'm okay with it because I like how Louise Simonson and Kieran Gillen are so in sync that it's just it tells one big story. So Hope confronts Jean and she's here like, wait, something's wrong with her. Let me read her mind. And Hope's like, ah. And then Hope kind of comes to, and Exodus is like, are you okay? And she's like, I know where we are. What she says exactly is, I'm okay. She isn't. Her mind is on fire. It's burning. So hot. Beyond hot. So I know where we are. I don't know what it means, but I know. What's the White Hot Room? Okay. Well, all right. So again, all the mutants are in the White Hot Room. All the mutants that were being pushed through the gate ended up in the White Hot Room. How did they end up in the White Hot Room? What did they really die? Was it really a meat grinder that went through it? The White Hot Room is supposed to be a nexus where all Phoenix hosts come when they die. So, the fact that all the mutants are there would suggest that they died, unless the Phoenix intervened somehow. But the Phoenix is supposed to be with Echo. So, has the Phoenix been working behind the scenes? We've kind of seen it working behind the scenes, in the past, but has it been working behind the scenes to help guide the mutants? Did it know was coming? Is this why is this why the Phoenix resurrected Jean in Phoenix Resurrection a couple years ago? Because it knew a huge massacre was going to be coming and it was going to have to protect the mutant race? I don't know. Anyways, it's so funny, Familia. Back during Second Coming on the CBR message boards, I used to say that the mutants would worship the Phoenix as a god because it brings rebirth to them. This was during also when Siren in X Factor was talking about how Thor came to their aid and that they would be singing hymns for him because he was a god who helped the mutants in this situation. And I was like, well, taking that logic, you would also think that the Phoenix would be godlike to the mutants. And I remember people just hurling insults at me, even though Second Coming Messiah Complex was all laced with biblical imagery, I would be like, well, they would see the Phoenix as sort of a mutant god. They don't have to like it, but, that's sort of how they would approach it. Here, we're totally seeing that theme play out. But if you are a crazy Jean stan, Hope stan, and Phoenix mythos stan, you would nitpick something really quickly here. So in Generation Hope issue 3, Hope does go into the White Hot Room and the Phoenix tells her, my child, wake up. Our children need you. So her not knowing the White Hot Room, and also Kieran Gillen also wrote that issue. So he wrote this issue of Immortal and he wrote that issue of Generation Hope issue 3 where she's in the White Hot Room. Listen, I know it's been at this point like almost 2 decades since that issue of Generation Hope came out. And if someone cited something I wrote 20 years ago, I'd be like, argh. So I don't want to be that person. I don't want to nitpick, but I remember that Hope was in the White Hot Room. Also, at the end of AVX, she becomes the White Phoenix of the Crown. Hope literally becomes White Phoenix. Was it just a frivolous costume? Right? Because being a White Phoenix means that you have ascended into the top of the White Hot Room. I'm not saying that Hope did that, but I'm saying that because she donned that costume, because she was in her white Phoenix outfit, she would presumably have a higher knowledge of the Phoenix, and she was able to say no more Phoenix with Wanda, and the Phoenix kind of exploded. So the fact that she had that level of power, you would assume that she ascended into the white hot room consciously, off panel, just kind of like how we saw Scott when he became Dark Phoenix. He was experiencing things off panel in his own mind, circling the cosmos. You would have assumed Hope had that as well. It is such a nitpicky detail, but we do have to bring it up because we love the Phoenix mythos. We love Jean Grey. And I have to tell you, Hope, I have started to really like Hope here. We're getting more insight on everything that happened with Nightmare and a lot of the things that Hope has been experiencing with having nightmares of Bishop. I thought that was wonderful. And how Wolverine, she knew it was actually Logan because Logan had a certain look in his eye when he tried to kill her. I mean, he tried to kill her during AVX. He also tried to kill her during X-Men Disassembled. If he tried to kill her in other times, I'm forgetting right now off the top of my head. But those are the two big major moments that I remember that Wolverine tried to kill Hope. So I love that Kieran Gillen is, I always say his name wrong. I'm sorry. It's such a hard tongue twister for me to say. We had Agent M on the podcast recently, and he said Kieran's name, and I was like, oh, you said that. You see, I think I said it right, Kieran. But then when I tried to say his entire name, Kieran Gillen, whatever. Agent M was able to say it perfectly. I'm like, that's so great. I'm such a moron. So I apologize, Familia, for not getting right. But so Hope actually does kill Wolverine in this issue, and that's when she mentions the comment, that's really Logan. I know the look in his eye. So I'm assuming that was him who was resurrected later on in the issue, but my question is, why would they need to resurrect Logan if they're in the White Hot Room? The White Hot Room is literally the nexus of all reality, of the Phoenix, of resurrection, of operating on a cosmic level. So I don't know why the mutants would have to resurrect Logan, but I would assume if they entered the White Hot Room, it's because they died going through the meat grinder, but I guess they just ended up in the White Hot Room, mind and body. I'm excited, although I'm excited. This is actually Jean Grey in this issue. I thought it was going to be an apparition because, the mutants are in the desert. There's all this biblical stuff happening around them. So they would be tempted by quote unquote Satan, and Jean and Wolverine would just be apparitions. But no, it's actually really them, which begs the question, how is Jean back in her body? How does she have a physical body again? Again, they're in the White Hot Room, so it makes sense that Jean would have a body there. But again, Jean had to die to get into the White Hot Room. How did these other fools get in there? Oh my gosh, this is just hitting me. What if Jean was the one who carried them there when she died? She was the one who pushed everyone to come into the White Hot Room, mind and body. That would be very merry. That mind, body, and soul into the White Hot Room. I bet that's what Jean did. I bet before Jean fully died and became, ridden with guilt and her mind was on fire, she made sure all the mutants made it into the White Hot Room because she wanted to protect them. Bet you that's what's going to happen. But we knew the White Hot Room was going to come back, and I'm really happy about that. So I would be interested to see how Jean got there as well. I hope that's explained in Louise Simonson's Jean Grey series. It's obviously all streaming together. That series only has 2 issues left. So hopefully these next 2 issues are going to be big. I think it's safe to assume the last issue is going to connect everything we're seeing here in Immortal X-Men issue 16. And maybe I'm anticipating issue number 3 is going to be somewhat of a filler, but set up for the finale. We'll wait and see. I haven't got any tea beyond that, but I'm curious to see how Jean is in the White Hot Room, how she has her physical body back. I hope it is she was in a Phoenix egg situation. I'm hoping that's going to all sort of be tied together, but I will tell you, I do think it's really complicated explaining it out loud, but I think the Phoenix mythos are tracking, with the exception of Hope not knowing the White Hot Room, because again, she's already been in the White Hot Room and she was Phoenix of the White Crown. However, I can forgive all of that because the Phoenix mythos are pretty tight here. There was so much Phoenix imagery at the Hellfire Gala. It makes sense that Hope would be wearing a Phoenix inspired outfit because she's a mutant messiah. She's had the Phoenix before, but I don't know why the rest of the 5 had it. Is it because Hope comes from the Phoenix and that's why it's a homage to it? Which again, if Hope is from the Phoenix, she's still homaging the Phoenix in her Hellfire Gala outfit, and she's having the other 5 were Phoenix imagery in their Hellfire Gala outfits. Why wouldn't she have a basic working knowledge of the Phoenix? It just, it's one of those things that there's a lot of seeds being planted in Krakoa. There's a lot of things being thrown at the wall. They call it Claremonting, but it's never really fully realized. And that's always been sort of my grievance with the Krakoan age and all these seeds that are being planted. I would have loved if Hope would have said something in this issue being like, I knew it. I really did know it. I knew this place was familiar. Do you know about the White Hot Room? That's what I would have loved for this issue to end. But again, that is nitpicky. That is very nitpicky. The Phoenix Mythos track, I'm really happy with it. Anyways, Familia, that is our rant on Immortal X-Men 16 as it pertains to Jean Grey, Hope Summers, and the Phoenix. What did you think of the issue? Did you enjoy it? I'm okay with it. I thought the non-Jean parts were fine. I thought versus Selene and Shaw was sort of anticlimactic. I thought the Hellfire armor was kind of lame, but that's fine. I'm not going to be, I don't want to be petty about it. I just kind of rolled my eyes on it. The fact that Xavier was able to defeat Shaw by promising him passwords to his old Hellfire Club accounts. Listen, on one hand, that's pretty clever, because Shaw is an opportunist. He just gave him something bigger. But I don't know. I think Xavier versus Selene, I think there would have been more of a smackdown. And I know he's wearing Hellfire Gala. He's wearing Hellfire armor, whatever that is. I'm pretty sure that's something new for this issue. Xavier is still an Omega level telepath. He just would have smacked Shaw down in a second. The real fight would have been between him and Selene, and that was non-existent. So, listen, it's fine. It got the job done for that ending where it's implied that Sinister is on the island. And thank you to Jonathan Loves X-Men, because I was confused by that ending. I was like, wait a minute, I don't really understand this ending. And you're like, no, it's because it's implied that those goons were on the island a couple issues before Sinister was the one who defeated them. So, that was pretty fun. I did like that scene quite a bit, saying, don't kill yourself yet. And then like the little red diamond painted on the mirror, and Xavier's looking all shocked there. So, but yeah, Familia, those are our feels on Immortal X-Men issue 16. You let us know your feelings. Drop them in the comments below. Are you excited to see the Phoenix return into the X-Men book? Are you excited? Are you excited to see the Phoenix return into the X-Men books? I think some of you may not be, but I'm excited. I love the Phoenix. As long as the Phoenix is done right and the mythos are respected, because it's a very complicated mythos, I really am excited to see the Phoenix return to the X-Men books. I think the Phoenix should always be a mutant thing. I never want it to be part of something else. But anyways, Familia, drop your feels below. Sound off in the comments, and make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we will see you later.